We've got the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport, a sportier version of the Atlas.
I always want to call this the Sport Cross.
Me too. I can't remember it.
So it's Sport Cross, right?
It's Cross Sport. Get it right.
Played ya. All right.
It's got some good power.
It's got some good power. Actually, we'll get to the shtick in a second, what they put it in, you know what. But what's under the hood of this Atlas?
A 3.6-liter V6 with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 276 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available in the US. This engine is available one up from the base model.
The base engine is a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 235 horsepower, but 258 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive on Canadian models. US, you get front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive options. So quick overview, this Atlas has no third row, a little bit shorter and a little bit sportier. So what do you get with it? What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 6.5-inch touchscreen, wired Apple Carplay and Android Auto, a digital cockpit with an 8-inch instrument cluster, a 6-speaker audio system, cloth upholstery, heated front seats, manual driver and passenger seats, heated washer nozzles, a spare tire, and blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert.
Now, actually, this vehicle, when you put it in S, when you put it in Sport, it does make a marked difference. But what are we going to put it in?
You got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop in, then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to get a sneak peek behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more. It's in S.
It's in S. Let's go.
I find that it's really quite punchy in S.
Yeah, I think in S it's punchy, but do you really think there's a massive difference in sportiness between the regular Atlas and this?
I think it's lighter. I think it feels more, I think the engine and transmission is more responsive because it's slightly lighter.
I think that there's a little bit more punch off the start with this V6, but I don't feel like it handles any sportier.
There's a Model Y next to us. You could take that.
Easily, but I won't because we're in a residential area.
Model Y's like, whatever.
Like its big brother, it is easy to maneuver in city traffic, a breeze to parallel park, the steering is light. I get why people enjoy this Atlas and the larger Atlas with the third row because it's just so comfortable. What an easy drive to it.
You know the thing about big boxy vehicles, the Atlas, the regular one, he's even bigger and boxier, is that you can see all the corners. So Andrea says it's easier to parallel park. You would think, well, such a big vehicle, it couldn't be, but you can see the corner there and the corner there, and you can see the edges of, rounder vehicles are trickier to park.
I really like the way this looks. It has a bold, rugged presence on the road. And with the raked roof line, it reminds me a lot of the Audi Q8. I saw one actually on the road side by side, and I thought, wow, these look really similar.
It's exactly the same thing they did with the Audi Q8. They took the Q7, took the third row out, they made it just a little bit shorter, but they made it more stylish looking. But what they didn't change on either vehicle is they left the dimensions of the rear seat exactly the same. So you get a massive 2-row, 5-passenger SUV, and there really aren't that many. We're going to go through this as we go through the video. There aren't many direct competitors to this.
No, not at all. Now the wheelbase is the exact same length on the Atlas and this Cross Sport. So you're right, Zach, the interior space is basically the same and the width is the same. It is just the length, 5.2 inches shorter.
And I think the roof is a little lower too,
yeah,
right?
and the roof, the height for sure. This comes standard with LED headlights and LED taillights. Standard 18-inch wheels available, 20-inch and 21-inch, depending on what trim that you go with. You can get black exterior accents with the R-Line package, or in the US, just get the R-Line trim. And then the top trim has got the R-Line design, but chrome exterior accents.
Well, we had the Atlas just a couple of weeks ago, and Andrea and I took different positions on this. So yes, there's hard plastic on the inside of this, but I claim...
that sounds like a lot of hard plastic there,
well,
Zach.
you can hear it because you hit it, but here's the thing. This is a mainline car. It's not a luxury car. It's a mainline car. And if you start comparing it to other mainline products, like say a Ford Explorer, a Chevy Traverse, something like that, they too have this level, this grade. They have this grade of plastic.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing that I said in the Atlas. That's not good company to be in. Traverse, Explorer, even the Honda Pilot. The Honda Pilot is going to get a full redesign. I expect it to be similar to what we see with the new HRV and
it'll be
CRV,
similar to this. It'll be
which
similar.
has less plastic. Okay, Zach.
Yeah,
now you got the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade.
Well, they're much better.
Yes.
And then you get the Grand Cherokee, which can be
Yes.
rather basic or very opulent on the inside. I say the Grand Cherokee, now that it's a little bit bigger than it used to be, is probably the closest competitor to this in terms of size. But that's got way more functionality to it than this.
Yeah, and we recently test drove the Passport from Honda, and it does have quite a bit of hard plastic in it as well. However, this being a German brand, when I talk to followers and viewers, they keep telling me that Volkswagen kind of has this elevated status. So we expect more from Volkswagen.
Yeah,
and this test model is almost $60,000. I'd like a little bit less hard plastic.
Yes, I agree with you, top trims, right? But the base models, and no, I think they compete quite well with other brands. And it isn't an elevated brand. This is the perception that Volkswagen owners have of themselves and their car. But the reality is, this is a mainline car brand. If you want luxury, Andrea, save up and get a Q8. So even though this doesn't have the biggest screen in the industry, you do like the integrated look.
I do. This comes with an optional 8-inch touchscreen, standard 6.5-inch. Love the integrated look. It's easy enough to use. It also has a digital cockpit, different sizes. This top trim gets the 10.25-inch cockpit, and I think that it's a real standout for Volkswagen. It's nice to have a digital gauge cluster.
And then you've got the things that I like, which are regular switches for the HVAC controls, for the heated seats and all that kind of stuff. It's probably going to go away. They're going to do a refresh on this. I think it's sometime next year it's coming. So hopefully they won't go to all those haptics, swipey things they've done in other products and leave some hard keys. Maybe they've learned their lesson. Probably not, though.
Now, one up from the base model in Canada, the Comfort Line trim, it offers a lot of value. I definitely recommend moving up one from the base model because you get the larger touchscreen, wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto, a power driver's seat, wireless charger, power tailgate, all those extra features that you want and I need. And moving up to the Highline trim, one below the top trim, that's where you're going to get the panoramic sunroof, driver's seat memory, a power passenger seat. I think that these features are the extras that would be nice to have. And it's the same in the US. That SEL all-wheel drive trim gets you some really nice features and it's priced quite well.
So we mentioned that the second row legroom is the same as the regular Atlas, and there is a lot of room to spread out here. You can see me getting in a very comfortable, large 5-seater SUV. How does it compare?
The Santa Fe has the most, but this would be pretty close to the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
And then the cargo area at the back, because the third row is gone, you get an enormous cargo space. There's storage underneath as well. How does this compare?
Very good. The Jeep Grand Cherokee has the most space, but this certainly keeps up very well.
Now, the other thing you notice when you get in this is just how wide it is. We joke with the regular Atlas, you could actually fit a seat right here. You have questions about this. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Is it true that Volkswagen engineered this 2-row crossover for families of sumo wrestlers with pet giraffes? I took one for a test drive when it first came out, and that was my first impression.
It's big. You know what? It's amazing. They've done this through a few Audi Volkswagens, and they take out the third row, but they don't make the vehicle that much shorter, so you get all that space on the inside.
I mean, this is 5.2 inches shorter than the regular Atlas, but man, you're right. It is big. Yeah, and headroom and everything, considering that it has a different look to it with the raked roofline. It's really good.
Yeah, I think that, it's a unique proposition for people who have giraffes.
If you have a giraffe, yes.
I don't know how you pet a giraffe because they're way up there. You can only just pet their leg.
Pet other parts of the giraffe for sure. You never look right in their eyes.
No, that's not a hippo.
How is seeing out
the most ferocious animal in the world apparently is a hippo.
They're pretty cute though.
Oh no.
They're biggies.
Don't get on the wrong. Look up hippo videos. They're mean.
How is seeing out the back window and view out of the back in general? I just think of when changing lanes or backing up, what you can and can't see. Views look a little tight. I don't find it to be a problem at all. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I mean, this Atlas, you just use one hand, you maneuver it right into your parking spot. Parallel parking's a breeze. Visibility is good.
That Defender we had recently with the tire on the back and the little window, you couldn't see anything out of that.
No.
This is fine.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, then the vehicle brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Volkswagen, then all of our videos pop up. It's that easy.
I see a Fender logo over the speaker grill. How is the sound? It's good. I mean, for an average person, you would say, oh yeah, this is good enough. I mean, we've heard better, for sure.
I like the Fender system that Volkswagen has. I think it's one of the better stereos in the mainline car brands. They use Harman Kardon on some of their vehicles. They use Beats, terrible. On the Jetta, way too muddy and bassy. This is clean. The thing, we went to the launch of this in California, and the people from Fender were there. They gave us some nice headphones, which was cool. But they said it was all about being clear and crisp, and I think that's where this really excels.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's worth the upgrade.
Andrea with her hits one
Yeah.
on satellite radio, me on the Spectrum,
So I just want to say where it's
Animal
available.
Planet.
Animal Planet. Okay, so this is available on the Highline trim in Canada, the Fender system. So you don't have to go to the top trim, but in the US you have to go to the top trim to get the Fender system.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I'm really interested in the Atlas and the Audi Q5. Would the Atlas have more for your money?
Well, Andrea, you get a lot more with this over the Q5. It's just an enormous vehicle in comparison, and you get a V6 engine as an option. That's gone now from the Q5 unless you get the S Q5. So I don't know. I think this is probably a better bang for your buck.
Yeah, for sure, better bang for your buck, especially space-wise if you need that big 5-passenger vehicle and you want to put 3 car seats across the back. This Atlas is going to do it for you. So the Q5, I'll use Canadian numbers. It starts at around $50,000 for that comfort trim, and it comes with some good features like a power tailgate and some of the extras that you would like, but you cannot get a panoramic sunroof unless you move up to the progressive trim, which is going to put you at around 56,000 Canadian. So why
It's
not
the same
just
price as this,
so why not just get this? You get ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, the 360 camera,
panel roof,
power folding exterior mirrors. You get a lot of value here with this,
which is why the Atlas, generally, the 3-row and this 2-row are such big sellers. We've talked about this many times. There's lots of people who could afford an Audi. They could afford a Mercedes or a BMW, but they think to themselves, I can get another German car, back to the prestige thing you talked about, and I can save money, but I'm still driving a German car.
And I also like the fact that you don't have to go up to the top trim of the Atlas to get things like ventilated front seats and heated rear seats in Canada. In the US, you do have to. The other thing I like about the US with the Atlas is that you can add the panoramic sunroof as an a la carte item, one up from the base model. Whereas in Canada, you can only get the panoramic sunroof one below the top trim.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you.
Okay.
Atlas Sport Cross Sport or the new Grand Cherokee?
Ooh.
Just the regular Grand Cherokee, the 2-row 5-passenger.
Okay, so I have a real thing for Jeep. Zach knows this. I love Jeep. I love a good Jeep. Never owned a Jeep. Can you believe that?
We should maybe get one.
So for me, I'm going to go with the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I just love Jeep. I think it does get quite expensive. It adds up with a la carte items and packages. But if I could get a good deal on one, I really like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. All right, let's get into the vital stats with this Atlas Sport Cross.
Cross Sport.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then the US. The base 2-liter engine starts at just under $41,000 Canadian, and the 3.6-liter V6 starts at just over $48,000 Canadian. The top exec line is just over $57,000. In the US, the base engine front-wheel drive model starts at just under $34,000. The all-wheel drive model is just under $36,000. The V6 all-wheel drive model starts at just over $41,500 US, and the top trim is just over $51,000 US.
Here's the fuel economy for the base 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. 11.6 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.7 on the highway. That's 20 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway. For the V6, it's 13.1 liters per 100 kilometers city, 10 on the highway. That's 18 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway. The V6 can tow 5,000 pounds, the turbo 4-cylinder 2,000 pounds. Volkswagen offers a warranty of 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. In the United States, you get complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 20,000 miles. We talked about some of the competition already, but let's see what else you can buy with your money.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Jeep Grand Cherokee with a base 3.6-liter Pentastar V6. It has 293 horsepower and a starting price of just over $53,500.
The Honda Passport with a 3.5-liter V6, 280 horsepower, and a starting price just over $47,000.
The Ford Edge has a turbocharged 4-cylinder with 245 horsepower and a starting price of just over $37,500.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2019 Nissan Murano SL with just 62,000 kilometers on the clock for $36,590. Click on the tab or the link in the description below to find more vehicles in this category from CanadaDrives.ca.
So there are 4 spacious 5-passenger SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round. 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improved.
I like the comfort level in here.
I like all the hard plastic.
Give me a break. You do not.
What would you like to see?
Troublemaker.
What would you like to see improved, Andrea?
I would like to see less hard plastic. No, I'm not going to use that. I want to say that I would like to see a standard 8-inch touchscreen in here with the wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto.
I would like them to add more hard plastic. That's what I want.
He's just troublemaker, isn't he? Like, honestly. If you're looking for a spacious 5-seater family hauler, you got to check out this Atlas Cross Sport.
It's a unique category. Not many that compete against this.
This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit CanadaDrives.ca to learn more.